Here we go.
Do it.
Okay, cool.
Here we go.
Welcome back to Coffin Talkin', where we unravel the mysteries, embrace the peculiar, and find humor in the unconventional world of funerals and death. Here's Frank.
There's Holly.
Frank.
There's Holly.
How are you
doing? I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Are you?
Yeah.
How's the stamina going? Are you
stamina?
Are you remaining energetic?
Well, I took a nap today, so yes.
How long was the nap?
It was 51 minutes.
Because the alarm went
cut short because maybe I was sleeping on my stomach, maybe came up on the bed and just climbs up my legs and walks up my back and just nestles herself in between my shoulder blades on my back. And it was very cute.
You were sleeping on your belly?
I always sleep on my belly.
Really?
Yeah, that's weird, huh?
I don't know if it's weird. I just can't do it. I try and sleep on my belly, and then within 15 minutes, I'm back on my back. Can't do it. So I don't know
I hate
how people
sleeping on my back. I'm either on my side or on my belly.
That is weird.
I know.
Wow. Kind of weird.
It's a little
for me
about
anyway.
me.
Maybe, and then maybe likes it when you're on your belly.
She loves it.
Does she think that your back is warm? Is that why she nestles and cuddles there?
Probably because we just bathed them today.
Okay.
And so she was damp still.
Did she do one of those claw exercises on your back?
She didn't this time. I appreciate that, but she usually does.
Maybe. I'm not ready to get up yet. Come on, man. All right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's that.
That's that. Is there sickness in your house?
No, we're fine.
There seems to be sickness going all over the place here.
Oh my gosh, I know.
Yeah.
It's infected your house.
Yes.
It's infected the houses of your children.
Yes. It has.
And their children.
And their children. And their children's children.
Uh-oh.
Oh, hold it. Wait.
The oldest grandchild is 8. Almost 8.
Yeah, that would be kind of odd. Okay.
That'd be
all right.
Horrible.
Well, we might have to go through the entire family. All right.
Yeah, might as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was talking.
Go ahead.
I was going to say I was talking to Mom yesterday, and she's telling me all these people in our family that are sick, like really horribly sick. And she's coughing, hacking up a lung as she's telling me. And then she ended that, and I said, well, we're doing great.
So there.
So that's that.
There you go. Wish you were here and doing as well as we are.
I know. Yeah, the sickness has not hit us, so I'm happy about that.
How's Caden's school going?
It's going great.
Good. And he's still enjoying
it? He really loves it. Mm-hmm.
Good.
Yep, he's still really, really enjoying it. And we're figuring out summer plans, so that's crazy.
Wow.
I know.
Any word yet where you might be going? He
has one offer, but it's an estate planning firm in Mesa.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
So, but we're waiting to hear back from 3 more places that he's interviewed at, and he has more interviews next week. So it's just an ongoing thing.
Yeah. So when does it?
Kind of tough.
When would the jobs officially begin? When would he have to give a final notice to somebody and say, "Yeah, I'll be there"?
I don't actually know. I don't know how long this job that he's been offered. They're like, yeah, take as long as you need, because they're pretty small, and so they're like, hey, it'd be pretty cool if we had someone of your ranking here. So I don't know. It's different for each firm.
Okay. All right.
He did say one of the programs gave them 48 hours to respond.
What?
And I think that's been the shortest. Yeah. And it's like an international thing too. So that's a big decision, but whatever.
Did he respond?
No, he didn't apply for that one. He just had friends.
Not much going on here. working like a banshee over here. And what does that mean, by the way? What does that expression mean? Working like a banshee.
What even is a banshee? Is that a monkey? I don't know.
A banshee. Okay. All right. Now we gotta carry on. Go on without me. Here. Go ahead. Go ahead. Carry on your conversation. I'm gonna look it up real fast. Anyway.
All I know is that a banshee is like something that screams.
I thought it was some sort of a warrior, I thought. But it just pulls up a movie.
A movie.
Yeah. Banshee Origins.
Maybe that movie was really difficult to make.
According to Wikipedia, and I don't know if we want to cite Wikipedia, it's a female spirit in Irish folklore who heralds the death of a family member.
Oh my gosh.
So we're kind of down the right path, Holly. It's just
that you are the banshee in this case.
Oh my word! No, I'm not a female.
You're not a female spirit in Irish lore.
Usually by screaming, wailing, shrieking, or keening. Her name is connected to a mythologically important tumuli or mounds that dot the Irish countryside, which are known as side of an old Irish. Wow.
What in the heck?
So maybe that does tie in. Yeah, maybe that does tie into the episode today.
Great.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
I love to hear it.
Yes. So what else?
I'm gonna
scream it.
I really thought it was a monkey or a pig. Those were the only two options in my head. And neither of those scream. I don't know.
Well,
howler monkeys, maybe.
Howler. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what sound pigs make when they are caught.
Heralded into death by a female Irish spirit.
Or just caught. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Wow.
Oh man. Well, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So working like a banshee. Heralding into death, yes. And I'm screaming every once in a while because you just get to the point where you just say, enough is enough. I mean, it's in the job description too. So
what is banshee?
Screaming. Yeah, you have to scream if you want to work like one.
Oh, by the way, here's your job description. Occasionally, it's okay to scream like a banshee. What?
What? Don't question it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Man,
I wonder if a banshee is for females. Would a banshee be for males?
Banhee is for Michael Jackson.
Oh yeah, he was a screamer.
He was a screamer.
All right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's all sorts of interpretations. That's the beautiful thing about banshees.
Mm-hmm. That's true. That's true.
Okay, well, I can't top that. I bought a rug this week. It's arriving on Tuesday. I'm really excited about it.
Is it for what room?
For my front room.
Oh, so it's a rollout rug.
It's a rollout rug. It's pretty thick because we have hardwood
Cats.
floor. Well, yes, cats, but we have hardwood floor that is like cement underneath, so it's pretty hard. And the rug we have right now is very thin, so we're going to move that one into the bedroom that has carpet. And then we have the thick rug, so we can sit and not bruise the tailbone.
Are you a floor dweller? Do you like the floor? That's why I am.
See, but the thing is, with this rug we have right now, I can't be because it's just uncomfortable. It's like you're sitting on tile.
Yeah, that's not good.
No, it's not great.
And then your floor must be cold too then.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not good for you. That's not good for the coccyx either, Holly.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. So anyways, that's my week.
Oh, well, good. I'm glad that it was a good week.
Yeah, it was great.
And mine is, screaming, wailing, gnashing of teeth, bansheeing. Yeah.
I'm really excited to see how that ties into today's episode.
I didn't know that it would, but it did. It will.
Did. Wow.
It will. Yeah. You'll be glad to know.
Serendipity.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then Should we just jump in?
Let's jump in.
Okay. Let's be frank.
Thanks, Holly.
You're welcome.
A young man walks into the funeral home, and he walks into the room where the viewing is located. He walks up to the casket, looks at the woman in the casket, then comes back to me and says, I'm here to see so-and-so. Could you tell me where she's at? And then the next one is, you lied to me! You lied! You lied to me! Okay, that's number 2.
What?
Just a minute. Number 3. What, you think I'm dumb? You think I was born last night? You think I'm dumb? And here's number 4.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah? What are you looking at me like that for? Come on, let's go. All right, come on, let's go. I'm taking off my jacket right now. Let's go. You think you're tough? Let's go.
It's not over.
Oh, man.
Is there a number 5?
The number 5 is, what do you think? You think I'm upset because people are just in there watching my dead mother in the casket?
Oh.
What are you talking to me like that for? I can grieve any way I want.
Oh, gosh.
Okay. Now let's begin.
Okay. It's a small little teaser, if you will.
And we'll tie them all in. So we had this funeral, and I was reading this, and I was thinking to myself, oh my gosh, I've got to tell this. Because there are some episodes that I don't want to tell, some stories I want to keep in just for book surprises. Mm-hmm. But this one I had to tell. And the family that had passed away, it was an elderly lady. She's probably, and when I say elderly, that's, I guess in retrospect, because she was only 64 years old, but she had 4 children still at the house that she was raising.
Oh, wow.
So when she died, the son, who lived in another state, called me and told me what he would like to have done, when he would like to have done, the casket, the flowers, everything was arranged over phone.
Okay.
So 3 weeks out, he says, this is when I'd like to have the services. And so the time kept coming and passing and going, and I kept very busy, and I kept getting calls from him asking how things were progressing and making sure everything was set and ready to go. And I assured him that everything was. And then the day of the service arrived, and I'm sitting there waiting for the family to arrive, and he does arrive. He introduces himself, and I said, oh, well, hi, I'm Frank. And he said, oh, Frank, I've been speaking with you off and on the funeral. So we walk in I said, let me just walk in. So I took him to the chapel doors, and I said, the casket's up front. Well, he walks in, looks at his mother, who he hasn't seen for almost 3 years. Then he comes back to me and he says, maybe you misunderstood. I'm here for the viewing of so-and-so, and could you point me in the direction of where she's located? I said, she's right there, pointing to the casket. And so he goes, what? And so I walked up with him this time, and I stood at her head end, and then he stood, and he just sat there and stared at her, and he goes, oh, yeah, I guess that is my mom.
Oh,
now,
geez.
When you hear stories like this, when you hear someone come back to you and say, I'd like to see so-and-so, when you're in the room, that's when I start to panic, because I think to myself, oh, my gosh, was she mislabeled? Do you know what I mean? Was there a name tag on the wrong individual?
Yeah.
Have I prepared the wrong individual? Anyway, turned out that everything was fine. And so he went on ahead and he just stood there at the casket for, I don't know, maybe 15, 20 minutes. And then he excused himself with his friends. He came in from another state and was and a single young man. He was there with 3 other friends. And so he walked outside, and that's when I hear this. What do you think? You think I'm dumb? Do you think I was born last night?
Oh, gosh. Is this from the same guy that just didn't recognize his mom?
Yes. And he's yelling at people as they're coming into the service.
What?
So I don't
just
know
random people?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if they're random, but he must have known them, right? Because he obviously went up to them and started talking to them. And so I'm watching him talking to these people, and all of a sudden he's yelling these people, and they just, without really doing much of anything more, excuse themselves and rapidly walk towards the front door. So I open the door and I just walk over to him and say, "You okay?" And he goes, "Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine, Frank. Don't worry about me. I'll be fine." And I said, "Okay, all right."
Okay.
So then his sister comes in and she walks up to the casket. Now, this is the one that was the caregiver of her mother. Okay. So she walks in and she goes, "Hello, Frank." And she's really cool. She's broken up, obviously.
Yeah.
So she walks up to the casket and she, "No, you lied to me. You lied to me." And I'm thinking to myself, what did she lie about? I'm just wondering. What you said
it. Watching this calm as can be.
And I'm standing there.
I'd love to get some context about this.
That's what I was kind of hoping someone would give it to me.
Yeah.
But they never did. And I just thought to myself, well, is this really the time that you want to ask? What did she lie to you?
Yeah. She's screaming at her deceased mother.
Yes. And she's kneeling in front of the casket and she's yelling.
Kneeling?
Kneeling on the ground. Usually if it was a Catholic service, we would put out a prie-dieu where they're called kneelers, where people could kneel and offer a prayer and then stand up and walk back to their seats. There was no prie-dieu. She just went on ahead and was kneeling on the floor and yelling. And I'm talking about banging on the casket, raising her hands and then banging on the casket. And the pastor had to go up to her and say, "You're disturbing the other." Oh, really?
Yeah. You don't say.
You're disturbing the other people. You need to just kind of stand up and just sit down. "No, don't touch me. I'm not going anywhere. Don't touch me." And people tried to lift her out. I would lift her up so she could stand up. She refused to sit down. And then so she was escorted out.
Okay.
So now it's nice and calm till the sun comes in. What are you looking at me like that for? Yes.
Oh, gosh. This guy.
A chip on the shoulder. What are you looking at me like that for? Now, here's the kicker in just a minute. What are you looking at me like that for? You think I'm dumb? Come on, let's go at it. I'm taking my jacket off right now. Let's go.
Who's he talking to?
His twin brother.
Oh, gosh. Oh, no. There's two of them.
And so I thought to and so I said, "Who are you yelling at?" "So my twin brother." And I said, "Hey, I'm a twin." "Go, good for you." And he walks over.
Hey, I'm a twin. Perfect time. Perfect time to bond.
I thought it would break the monotony. I thought it would change his course of decision making. So anyway, I tried. And so the minister comes out and he goes, "It's time to start the service. Could you guys come in and just be quiet as you come in?" Well, as they all walked in, this daughter again started the banshee wail and started to scream and at the top of her lungs. And I'm looking at the other people. This is a packed chapel. I'm looking at the other individuals that are there and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, these guys must really be thinking, oh, this must be commonplace for this funeral home, allowing this type of disruption happening in the service itself. And so the service began, and we'll talk about this in another episode too, but did you know there are out there individuals that are called and they're paid, they're professional wailers?
Yes.
Okay.
Some cultures bring in mourners.
Yeah. Have you ever watched Chosen?
Uh-huh.
Do you remember when Jairus' daughter passed away?
Yeah.
And those people
and mourners in there.
Yeah. Those are paid
and
mourners.
Jesus was like, "Get out of here."
He's just sleeping. What is he talking about? So anyway, that was the first thing I thought of when she was sitting there yelling and wailing. And I just thought, are you a professional mourner?
Yeah.
Or are you really sad that your mother has passed away? And I should not have passed that type of a judgment, but that's the feeling I got. So anyway, she sat down. The services began. He was not into the service 3 minutes when she started to stand up and scream at the top of her lung. Yes. And again, it was this lie comment. "You lied to me. Why would you do that? You lied to me."
Is she like looking at the casket?
The whole time. She's totally unaware of whatever is going on behind her with the people sitting there waiting for the services to either continue or conclude.
Yeah.
So her husband, I don't think it was her husband, her boyfriend, escorted her out of the chapel. And it was nice and quiet again. And then the son comes out and he goes, Frank, call the cops. Call the cops right now.
See, wait, which one? Which twin?
The one that's been the commotion provider.
Oh, geez.
So he's just he's buttoning up his jacket. So I'm thinking, okay, good. The jacket's at least not coming off.
At least that. At least we have that.
He says, call the cop. There's someone in that chapel that should not be there. I want him out of here now.
Can you forcibly remove people from funeral services? Is anyone really, if they're like being a disturbance though, right?
Nope. You can have them removed if the family requests that they're removed.
Really?
They don't have to have. And he was sitting there very quiet. And everyone, I'm not kidding. There was a pastor, the main pastor that was giving the sermon. And then there were two other pastors that were kind of there and assisting with prayers and helping people start with songs. But they circled this young man and said, don't do this. Don't do this. You don't need to do this. It's not
They circled the son.
Yes. Trying to convince him of not making me call the cops.
Not throwing this guy out.
Right. And so they escort him out of the building. And as they go out the building, one of the pastors comes up to me and says, please don't call the cops. I said, I won't. And so when he finally calmed down, he comes back in and the service is going on.
Yeah.
So I feel
missing his service.
That's exactly right. For his mother.
Yeah. Who he hadn't seen and didn't recognize. Let's not forget that.
Wow. Thanks, Holly. That just really makes me feel that much better. So, so he does come in and he says, Frank, I guess they don't want me to have you call the cops. So hold back on the calling the cops. And I said, okay. Phew. So apparently,
had him dialed.
Yeah, apparently it was her ex-husband.
Oh, okay.
That he didn't want there. And I guess the divorce did not work well or come across in good favors at all for anyone of the family, especially his mother. So the services finally end. And I just thought it would be nice to allow him, his brother, and whatever friends he might want to come up, because we hadn't talked about pallbearers. So usually I just move the casket out of the chapel and move it to the car. I just thought, well, it would be nice to have him come over and whatever friends he has, and just let's have him move the casket to the car. Everything will be fine. Maybe that will just be a way of putting everything at ease and everything aside. Now we're going to focus on your mother. Everything will be fine. So we get the casket moving and gets outside the door when he reaches across and slugs. Not.
Oh, what?
This is over the top of the casket. And
oh my God.
My back is to them because I'm walking forward to open the back door of the coach. So I'm not really aware of what's going on behind me until I hear, stop it, you two grow up, stop it. It wasn't him and his brother this time. It was him and another person. Another person that was just there at the service. Both were acting as pallbearers. And he just reaches across and slugs him right mid-chest. And he just says,
mid-chest?
Yeah, stop looking at me like that. What
the heck?
I know. So we go ahead. I bring him to the back of the coach. I said, please lift the car. He said, no, not you. You don't need to be lifting my mother. Step away from the casket.
Oh my gosh. This guy's got a real complex going on.
Something's happened. I don't know if he feels guilty.
Yeah.
But anyway, I just thought it would be interesting for the coffiners to know and understand what exactly is going on with sometimes with funerals. So they pull the casket up and they put it in the car. I lock it down. I close the door and I walk in to get the flowers and start moving things around, making sure that everything's ready for me to leave, and lock the building before I leave. So there are people in there that are gathering up their instruments because there were live instruments being played during the service. So they're gathering their instruments and they're kind of taking their time. And I'm thinking, come on, man, let's go. It's a Saturday. I want to get home. Let's get to the burial. Let's have that. So I finally grabbed whatever I needed to do, loaded the casket, loaded them in the car, and then walked back in and locked the building down after everybody left. And I walked around the back side of the building back to the car. And as I walk to the car, I look over and there's a plume of smoke. I mean,
Coming from the car?
If only. No, there was a skirmish going on the outside of the property, on the ground. My gosh. There were 3 people involved, and they were rolling and scuffling and hitting each other. Oh, my gosh.
What the?
So I just walked over and I said, hey, you guys, we're getting ready to go to the cemetery. Could we just clean it up just a little bit? And let's get ready to go to the cemetery. And they just kept fighting. And I just said, fine. I shook my head, walked to the car, got into the car, honked, started the car, and then started to move out towards the cemetery.
Yeah.
So everything was, I just thought, if he misses it, then that's on him. I've waited long enough. From the time the services ended and the pastor standing there at the car waiting for him to have a ride with me to the cemetery, he said, let's just go. Okay, let's go. And I look in my rearview mirror, and there they are, still scuffling on the ground. And I'm thinking to myself, do I go slow enough that they'll realize that I've gone and they can stand up, get dressed, and then maybe come to join us? So we make it to the cemetery.
Go fast enough that they don't have time to reach us.
I thought of that too. Maybe if I went fast enough, we could park at the cemetery, get it unloaded, have the prayer, and we're done.
We're done.
But so I went on ahead, having witnessed what was going on. I turned to the pastor and I said, have you ever experienced anything like this? And he said, no, absolutely not. He said, this young man he just came in. No one's seen him for years, and he's just kind of making things his own and being a disruptive servant or a disruptive individual while everyone else is there trying to pay homage or at least respect to the individual that's passed away.
Yeah. And
I said, yeah, I'm really sorry that's happened. He said, no, I'm sorry that's happened because it reflects poorly on the church. I said, that's interesting because you think it reflects poorly on the church. I think it reflects poorly on the mortuary that we aren't able to control it. So anyway, we got to the cemetery, got out of the car, and sure enough, people were standing around waiting for the casket to be removed when this guy that was told not to help with the casket said, no, we need to wait for so-and-so. And
the brother?
The brother.
Like the son?
Yeah, the brother, the son to the deceased. And I go,
and this came from the guy that just punched, just punched.
It was just punched. And I said,
probably
okay.
Like, I need him to be across from me so I can slug him back.
Well, we were talking, and all of a sudden, 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes, his car finally pulls in. And he looks at me and he goes, I've got to go see this individual for a minute. And I go, oh, no.
No, we're not having another fight break out here.
And so the pastor walks up to me and he goes, where's so-and-so? And I just said he just walked up to see what this gentleman's name is. And I said, what do you want to do? And so the pastor said, here, hold these. And he handed me his Bible and he booked it like as fast as he could running towards that car. And he grabbed this guy by the back of the shoulders, the one that had been slugged as a pallbearer at the back at the mortuary.
Yeah.
And he grabbed him by his shoulders and then flipped him around and looked at him. And I could tell that he was saying, don't do it. Don't even think about it. This is not the place. This is not the time.
Yeah.
And, because his hands were very animated. His head was very animated. And so without even this guy getting out of the car, this kid turned around and walked back to the back of the car. So we got the body out of the casket, out of the car, finally, and moved it to the grave site. And this kid did not help as a pallbearer. We had ushered in someone else. So we went on ahead. We had we placed the casket on the grave site. And as it was going on, we no sooner had gotten through the opening prayer at the grave, a scripture reading, some words from the pastor, probably 10 minutes in, maybe not even that, maybe 3 minutes in, when he yells, my jacket's coming off. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this right here, right now. We're going to do this again. And I just rolled my eyes and I thought to myself, well, where's that bucket of dirt? Because people like to sprinkle dirt on caskets and stuff.
Where's that dirt gone?
So I grabbed, please forgive me. So I picked up that bucket of dirt and I was walking towards this son. I had it in my hands and was walking towards him, hoping that he would look at me and say, oh yeah, we're going to do a final file by and drop soil on the casket when I tripped.
Did you throw the dirt on him?
I purposefully tripped.
Oh.
And I let the bucket fly forward. And it fell right at his feet and poofed all over his pants, his shoes. And you know something?
What?
It worked. Because he said, "Oh my gosh, Frank, are you okay?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm fine. I'm okay. I'm just sorry that we dropped all this dirt that we couldn't, pick it back up so that you can place. Oh, that's okay. We'll use flowers. It's okay. We'll use flowers."
Oh my gosh.
So he walks back to the floral piece that he had actually arranged, and he did something very touching. Actually, I thought he pulled all the flowers out of the casket spray, and then he started handing it to individuals that were about ready to pay
on his good list.
Yeah.
The ones that could get close to the casket.
His good list, yeah. So anyway, he goes in and he starts handing out these flowers. Then he gets to the guy that he was threatening. And he did something that I thought was very crass. He handed him a rose, and then he took the rose and broke the rose off. And then he threw it on the ground and stepped on it. And he said, you're not worthy to drop a flower on my mom's grave.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So anyway, Holly. and then they all waited around for the lowering of the casket. And this particular cemetery in California does not do that.
Oh,
so
they don't do the lowering. Not
with the family present.
So did you just get out of there?
No, I have to wait until it's lowered. I have to wait.
Oh.
So I looked at them and I said, "Hey, by the way, this casket won't be lowered until everyone has gone." Yeah. And I looked at the son. He just said, "Yeah, good move on your part, Frank. Good job. Good job to do that." And I'm thinking to myself, no, that means you as well.
Yeah, you're like, get out. I really can't deal with you anymore.
So he's giving me a thumbs up as though, "Oh, yeah, I see what you're doing there, Frank. Yeah, let's get them all out of here. I'll stay."
Oh, my gosh.
So they all walked back to their cars and were pulling away, and he's standing there. I said, "Hey."
He's still standing there.
Yes. I said, "Just so you know, that announcement was for you as well." "Well, they can't kick me out. I'm the son." I said, "Oh, yeah."
He's looking at you. "I'm going to take my jacket off." This is going down.
"Don't make me put my jacket back on."
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, wow, Holly. So finally, what should have been an hour service, 2 hours and 40 minutes later, I was finally able to head home.
What in the heck?
And then I get a call from the screamer, the Banshee daughter. "How do I know it was my mother that was buried? How do I know that you lowered that casket?" "Yeah. How do I know that was her in that casket that you lowered?" I said, "What?" First of all, I had to address the fact that she was concerned that I switched her body from the mortuary and got her to, because I noticed you were in the mortuary by yourself. Okay, yeah. Well, where would I put her?
Yeah,
seriously.
Great.
So, and I said, and I had to remind her that the casket was already in the coach when I was in the building by myself.
Yeah.
So that if I had changed, anyway, this is the way people's minds work. And then she said, "Well, how do I know that you guys actually buried the casket?" Holly, well, what do you say? What would I have done with the casket?
Yeah, seriously.
I mean, your mother's still in there, so what would I have done legally? What could I have done? Of course she was lowered in the casket, in the ground, to be buried.
Yeah.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts. And I said, and I had to stay there until everything was completed, just so that, for instances like this, so that you know that there was someone there that witnessed the entire burial.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. Now I'm worried they're going to... when I left, I was driving thinking, don't you dare call me and ask me to help with a marker.
Oh, no. There's no way.
I don't want you in close quarters, all of you together. Oh, my word.
Oh, my gosh. I will not be taking your business anymore.
That's right. That's correct, Holly.
Oh, my gosh.
So anyway.
I think my favorite part of that story is, hey, I'm a twin too.
Oh, good for you. Yeah, get over it.
I love that. Oh, wow.
I just thought I would try and throw that in to see if I could break up the monotony of threatening others that are there at the service. Wow.
And then eventually you just had to throw some dirt on the guy.
Oh, I felt so bad about that. And that was all purposeful, but I can trip pretty good. I mean, seriously, I can make a trip look good.
Yeah.
And I can make it look real. And sure enough, when I was just holding it just in front of me so that when I fell, there was nowhere for that bucket to go but forward.
Yep.
And I had to make sure I was close enough to him, and I was walking over a marker. So it was perfect.
It was amazing. One of my best performances, actually.
That's right. I wonder if someone caught it on film. Oh, boy.
Oh, geez.
Anyway, that's that story, Holly.
Yeah, that's insane. That's on par with the refried bean service.
Oh my gosh,
where everyone
Holly.
But it's like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, where one is really funny and tragic, and then one's really just horrible and tragic.
Oh, you mean the services in general, not just him?
Yeah. Oh no, him too. I guess that.
Hey, Frank, how's it going? What are you looking at?
Just as people are walking into the mortuary screaming.
Within 30 seconds. Wow, are you bipolar?
He might be.
Schizophrenic.
Oh my gosh.
So I was hey, Cockners, I'm sorry I was yelling at the beginning, but I'll tell you, every once in a while when you're, as a funeral director, standing listening to what's going on at funerals, how do you interact? How do you interject yourself into what's going on to where you feel comfortable enough to where you could control the situation or not control the situation? You just think, okay, I'm going to go punch.
It's not worth my time anymore. Yeah.
So, I fractured my cheekbone when I was in high school. I want to break it. He'd probably break it now. So
can't take that risk.
Too busy right now. I got so much to do with the mortuary. I don't want to be late at the hospital for a while.
Oh my gosh.
So
what a mess.
It was a mess. It was a mess. And I have to, but now I can sit and smile about it. But at the time I was kind of incensed, thinking this is probably not, well, I know that's not the place for any of that to have occurred.
No.
The yelling, the screaming, the threatening of other people. Yeah, it's not good, especially during a service. Actual fighting. And it's interesting that some families will ask if I provide security. Yeah. And I will, but I don't, they have to pay for it because I have to hire it in. So, if they're aware that there might be that type of an instance, then we'll bring in security, but only when they're for sure that there's going to be an issue. But no one had any idea that he was going to act like this or she was going to act like this. So
see, I was thinking from the beginning, it's funny how you said it reflects badly on the funeral home. The pastor said it reflects badly on the church. Yeah. And I'm just thinking the whole time it just reflects badly on the family.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure everyone in that service was like, yep, we knew this was going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know if they did know it or not, but it is interesting that, there are those three perspectives that you could bring into it as far as family, church, and mortuary. But I was never so grateful to say goodbye to the cemetery crew.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm out of here. I'm on my way out. Thank you very much. Yeah. See you later.
I'm not taking any more calls today.
That's right.
That's it for me.
Phew, I'm done. Woo.
Jeez.
Anyway, yeah. So, anyway, any other comments on that one, Holly?
No. Nothing else on that. That's just, I guess that's how it is sometimes. I do hope that their father had already passed away, so this didn't have to repeat.
He was there. The father was there.
He was there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Was he the ex-husband?
Yes.
Oh.
But I never did that service, so I know he's passed away by now. But we never really did that service, so maybe they thought that we had handled enough. They'll look at the name and go, what? No.
No. Never again.
We're done. We're done with this family.
Not today.
Not today. Not happening today.
Not signing up for that again.
Yeah. Ugh. Keep dialing.
Keep silent. Block.
I'm sorry.
Block.
You've reached the wrong funeral home.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah,
People
but that's another. Yeah, they are crazy, and I think it's true that death brings out either the best or the worst in individuals. I guess it all depends on how you want to handle the service, and I think he was feeling, the son in this case, I think he was feeling kind of guilty. And as I watched him maneuver through the crowd, and just his mannerism was like, yeah, I've got a chip on my shoulder, and don't ask to knock it off because I'm entitled to the chip.
Okay.
And I don't know what that looks like or what that entails, but yeah, I'm telling you, coffiners, I'm so sorry for having to yell.
Oh, you just had to really experience it
and bring that in, but you would not have gotten the full thrust of the experience had I not done it. So,
yeah. Ooh. Okay.
Anyway.
Well, that's that.
Thanks, Holly.
Of course, coffiners, come back next week for some more
yelling, screaming, bansheeing,
anything you want to call it, really.
Banshee-ing.
Banshee-ing. How many iterations of this can we do? Come back for more puns next week.
Perfect.
And we'll see you then.
Thanks, coffiners. Take care.